Welcome to Yoga Mouse Studio Homeschool. I'm Christy. I want to talk about some lower back hip stretches today. I love this. I'm going to give you a couple modifications. Modifications may not be the right word, variations, because none of them are better or worse than the other, but we're going to just talk about ways you can explore these hip stretches, lower back stretches, in different ways so you can figure out what works for you. Every day is going to be different for you. If you've been standing all day, the stretch is going to feel different than if you've been sitting at your desk all day. So knowing these various modalities are going to give you more power to explore your own needs. Come to your back, lay down, and if your back is really uncomfortable, one way you can add to this, and it's not my favorite, but I do have good feedback from other students, is to put something like a pillow, a rolled up mat underneath the lower back to lay on it. And that can be something that gives you a slight inversion and feels good. But the other thing is laying flat on the floor, arms at your sides, palms face down, laying flat on the floor, arms out into a T shape. Rotate the palms up to the sky. So it's more than just a palm flip. Your elbow creases and your armpits are also rotating toward the sky, where you notice the shoulder blades tuck behind your back. Just because we're talking about hips and lower back doesn't mean the whole body isn't engaged. So bring yourself into a place where you feel the back on the ground, palms, elbow creases, and armpits all gently rotated towards the ceiling. And then first step, your feet are flat on the ground and you can walk the feet wider than the hips. Notice already just how this feels. Notice if there's any discomfort in the hips, knees, or ankles. Paying attention to the kneecaps, the ankles, the hip creases, how they feel aligned. If there's any discomfort, you can bring the knees together instead. From here, with the knees wide, you'll drop your knees off to the right. Head turns to look over that left hand. This is a beautiful variation. You can stay here as long as you'd like. The other option, if your knees are together, this changes the sensation through your whole body as well. It also could help if you do feel any sort of pulling or sharp pain in the lower back or discomfort in the knees and ankles with wide legs. With the knees together, you could take the right hand to that left leg and add more of a side stretch. If the knees are still wide apart, you can get that side stretch by taking the top left leg, cross it over the right like you're sitting in a chair. Either variation, the left arm can lift up and overhead. And of course, yoga is nothing but a workout unless you add the breath. The breath is the magical tool, and it requires the ninja mind and the really deep internal awareness that we develop with this practice. So big breath in. As you breathe in, you're thinking about directing that breath into the lower back, into those lower ribs. They're not touching the ground. You can see my back is off the ground, but with that breath, the rib cage gently works towards the floor, stretching those big, deep muscles on the inside back of the body. And if you're feeling this through the armpit, the elbow, the fingertips, there's a lot of different ways that this can come out in your body. The final version of this that I'm a big fan of is, instead of crossing this left leg, the other option is to take this left foot and bring the top of the foot to the mat or the ground, working the heel toward the hip. And you can keep that left arm reaching up. You can keep it off to your side. You're going to experiment and you're going to find what works for you. These are all suggestions, and then you're your own therapist. You do the research here. So this knee, you'll have to be careful with your knee if you have any knee damage or knee pain. Watch the knee and ankle. But what I like to do is gently press and rotate my hip just a little bit to feel a stretch through that left inner thigh and groin. It's also a quad stretch for me. So see where you can feel that. And again, we have to go back to the breath. Always essential. Big inhale. Feel those bottom left ribs gently working towards the ground. Bonus, as you're focusing on this breath, the science behind it brings you stress relief, automatically sending signals to your brain. Yep, I'm okay. This might be relaxing, and you start letting go. So play with these versions, and then once you've found your spot, settle into it. Find a breath. Take a good 30 seconds in each pose that feels nice. Let your body adjust to it, and then you'll take it over, dropping the knees to the left, doing the same thing, finding the variation that we just talked about that works for you. And already it's hard for me to get up because I feel so much better. Hopefully that gave you some more insight into how to find some relief if you're sitting a lot, standing a lot, I don't know, being alive. There's a purpose for all of these things for all people. So let me know how it goes. Have a great, bendy, stretchy day. Namaste.